This conference will now be recorded.
Cool. So, guys, assuming that you people have an idea on
How
manual
can,
testing. Yeah.
excuse me, how can we record the session?
So, if you want to record that, I need to mark you as an organizer. So, I just mark you as an organizer. Even you can record this session from your end. Okay, in a go-to meetings, there will be a record option enabled for you. Even you can record this session from your end. Okay, good. So,
Uh,
I'm starting this
I have a
session.
question. You said
Yes.
that you'll be recording the session, right? Will you be sending
Yes.
it at the end of the session? Okay.
Yes, I will be sharing this recording at the end of the session. The only thing
All right.
required is I need your Gmail IDs at the end of the session. Okay,
Sure. Okay.
cool. So, with which I'm moving further, guys. I'm assuming that you people have an idea on a manual testing. So, even if you don't have any idea on a manual testing, in our training program, okay, in our training program, we are going to cover sessions on manual testing also. Okay, so just manual testing. If you have an idea, that's good. If you don't have any idea, we are going to cover as part of our training program. But this session, I'm considering that you people have an idea on a manual testing, and I'm moving with an automation testing. So, what exactly an automation testing is? Why we are moving for an automation testing? In a simple terms, whatever the testing we are doing manually, if we do the same thing by writing a computer program, we can call it as an automation testing. Okay, so you are just doing a testing by writing a computer program to check whether the developed application is working properly or not. We can call it as an automation testing. In the current market, we have a n number of automation tools available like QDB, Selenium, Sahi, WaitIR, and a few more tools are there in the market. Depending on our need and our requirement, we will be selecting one of the tool and we can automate our applications. So the tool selection is a priority depending on your project needs. Nowadays, in the real time, 90% of the people are preferring Selenium to automate their applications. Okay, majority of the people are preferring Selenium in order to automate their applications. Why Selenium? Why not any other tools? Right, this kind of a question usually will rise in our mind. Why Selenium? Why not any other tools? Okay, so the answer for this one is Selenium is an open source test automation tool which is used to automate any kind of web-based applications. In order to automate any kind of web-based applications, we are using Selenium. Usually, this tool will interact with the HTML of the application. We'll see how exactly it will interact with the HTML with the later stage. But the bottom line is Selenium is an open source test automation tool which is used to automate any kind of web-based applications. The meaning of a web-based applications is whatever the applications we are testing on a browser, we can call them as a web-based applications like Chrome browser, Firefox, Safari, Opera, etc. If you are testing your application on all these browsers, we can call it as a web-based applications. Selenium is a tool which is used to automate those kind of web-based applications. Okay, which is used to automate those kind of web-based applications. Good. And the most important reason why people are preferring this tool is open source test automation tool. It means open source means it's just for free. Anyone can simply install this software and they can automate their applications using this tool. Okay, people can simply automate their applications using this particular tool. So immediately another quick question will rise in our mind. Is this the only reason why people are preferring this tool to automate, which is an open source? If so, there are too many tools available in a market. Why Selenium? Why not Asahi or any other tools? The reason is the various advantages with the Selenium makes it more powerful than any other automation tools in the market. So the various advantages with respect to Selenium makes it more powerful than any other commercial tools in the market. Okay, then what are all the advantages with respect to this tool? The first one is it supports record and a playback feature. Example is our mobile phone. In our mobile phone, you have an audio or a video recorder, which is used specifically to record audio or a video nearby our mobile. The same way here, the record and a playback feature works on a browser. What are all the operations we are performing on a browser? For all those operations, your Selenium will record the script, and whenever we want, even we can play back the script on a same browser itself. And the second advantage is it supports multiple programming languages. Okay, multiple programming languages means if you are good at Java, you can write down your Selenium code. Ruby, Python, .NET, whatever the programming language might be. If at all we are good at any one of the programming languages, we can write down our Selenium codes. Among all the programming languages, 75 to 80% of the people who are using Selenium, they are preferring Java as their programming language to automate their applications. Even we will fall among those 75 to 80%, and we are choosing Java as our programming language to write our Selenium codes. Whatever the Java concepts required for us to work on Selenium, we are going to study as part of our training program. So, whatever the Java concepts required for us to work on Selenium, all those Java concepts we are going to study as part of a Java program within our training. Even though you don't know anything about Java, we are going to cover those concepts as part of our training program. And the next one is Selenium supports multiple browsers. The prepared test script, we can execute it across the various browsers. IE, Firefox, Safari, Opera, Chrome, all these browsers we can execute the script. And the another thing is, if we are good at Selenium, we can automate application in our Android and iOS mobile devices also. Okay, we can automate Android and as well as in iOS mobile devices also if you are good at Selenium. And partial load testing will also be conducted using this tool. Okay, partial load testing will also be conducted using this tool. As it is an open source tool and it supports these many advantages, majority of the people are preferring this tool in order to automate their applications. Okay, cool. So these are all the various advantages. So guys, before moving ahead, uh, am I clear for everybody or do you have any questions for me? Pavan, Navya, Chaitanya, Babisha, am I clear for you all or do you have
Yes.
any questions? Good. So, guys, you can use the chat window here in a GoToMeetings. Okay, directly you can use the chat window. If you have any questions, just type that you have a question so that I can give you an option to unmute yourself and you can address your questions. If you don't have any questions, you can type it as a good or anything in a chat window. Okay, use this chat window for our communication within the session. Cool. So these are all the positives we studied. Advantages means simply the positive we studied. What are all the limitations then? Right, we need to know about the limitations. So the first limitation where majority of the people are considering is an open source tool. The reason why people are considering open source as a limitation means open source tool as a limitation means okay, lack of support from Selenium team. We don't get any support from the Selenium team if it is an open source tool. But there are too many Google groups and forums in which we can get better support from Selenium team. Okay, using which we can get better support from the Selenium team and other resources who are working on this particular tool who faced these issues. Okay, so it means even though we have a limitation, open source as a limitation, we are getting support from others who are using this. And another thing is window based pop-ups. So using this tool, we can't handle any kind of window based pop-ups. So an example for these window based pop-ups is assume that this is your application and you are trying to choose a profile picture and you are trying to choose a profile picture. So this kind of a window based pop-up will display for you which you can't handle using Selenium directly. Okay, which you can't handle using Selenium directly. So this is a limitation, but for which there are some third party tools which we are integrating with the Selenium to overcome the limitations. In order to overcome the limitation, we are using some third party tools with Selenium like AutoIT, Sickly to overcome this limitation. So the bottom line is, of course, we have a limitations with Selenium. We do have an options to overcome those limitations. Okay, that's what the bottom line which you people need to remember. We have a limitations and we do have solutions in order to overcome those limitations. Good. So this is the thing. So these are all the various tools available in the market. Okay, good. And then,
Excuse me.
yes,
Can you go to the advantages?
yes.
There is this, you told us like we can record and play back, right? So
Yes.
how can we do that? Can you show us an example?
Yeah. I will do that in just a few minutes. Okay. So let me finish the small concept which I was supposed to do that, and then I will move on to the practical concepts. Okay. So right now we are in a theory, and after 5 minutes, I will jump on to the practical and I will show you how to handle this stuff in a practical way. Okay. Cool. So here, the another concept is components we have in Selenium and what are all the topics we are going to study as part of our training program. Okay, so Selenium is broadly categorized into four different components. One is Selenium Ide, RC, WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. So these are all the various components we have in Selenium. Selenium IDE, RC, WebDriver, and a grid. These are the four different components we have. Each and every component has its own advantages. IDE is a component which is used to perform record and a playback feature. RC and a WebDriver are the components which are used to perform multiple programming languages and multiple browsers. These two components. And Selenium Grid is used to perform some kind of a load testing, okay, on particular application. Partial load testing on a particular application, we are using this Selenium Grid. And in our training program, we will be starting our sessions with our Selenium IDE, in which we will discuss how to perform a record and a playback feature of a particular application for 1 to 2 hours on Chrome and a Firefox browser. Then we will jump on to core Java, where in which we will study about 5 to 8 hours of a core Java. And then RC is a depreciated component where no one is using this RC, but in our sessions, we are going to study about RC for 30 minutes to show you how can we use this RC. Okay, we are going to see how we are going to use this Selenium RC. We will be studying in our sessions. And then moving on to WebDriver, we are going to spend 20 hours on a WebDriver in which we are going to study about JUnit, TestNG, Maven, Jenkins, and framework creation, and all important concepts we are going to study here for about 20 hours in WebDriver. After that, we will be jumping onto Selenium Grid for 1 hour. Here in Selenium Grid, we are going to see how to configure the grid, how to work on that particular grid. We are going to study for additional 1 hour. After the grid, additionally, we are covering three components as part of this training program. The first component which we are going to study is about APM, which is a mobile automation testing tool. Okay, APM, which is a mobile automation testing tool for 3 to 5 hours. See, guys, if you are good at a Selenium WebDriver, then we can simply automate the Android and as well as the iPhone devices. So by here, we are going to complete our WebDriver. So additionally, we are going to cover mobile automation testing and we will be studying how to automate Android mobile apps. We are going to study for 3 to 5 hours. And then we are going to jump onto Protractor, which is an Angular JS framework where nowadays majority of the people are using in their organizations, which is again built on top of Selenium to automate Angular JS applications. We are going to study additional 2 hours on Protractor 2. Okay, so we are going to study additional 2 hours on a Protractor. And finally, the next one is a Cucumber, which is a BDD framework. Additionally, we are going to cover for 2 hours on a cucumber, which is common for both the Selenium and as well as an APM. So nowadays, majority of the people are using these three components. So as we are registering for this Selenium training program, additionally, we are going to cover 10 hours on about three concepts or three components, which will add more weight for your resume as well. Okay, so this is the first thing. And whoever don't have any idea on a manual testing, we will be covering manual testing as part of this training program also in a different slot. The session timings is differ. So this is about the complete theory concepts, and moving on to the practicals. How we are going to discuss about the practical stuff means, so WebDriver is the most important component where we are going to spend 20 hours out over there. The majority of the training program we are concentrating on a WebDriver. So here I am opening my previous batch scenarios. So if you observe here, roughly there are 50 plus scenarios. Roughly there are 59 scenarios are there. Scenarios means 59 real-time examples. We will consider one example and we will see what are all the commands we need to use, how to script for that. Everything we will be studying in our programs, in our sessions as a program. We will create a program like this. For suppose example 14. So we will see, assume that my requirement is to perform a click operation on a browser. Which command I need to use, why I need to use, how I need to use that particular command, and we will see an example in using that particular command. Like that, each and every concept we are going to study with a real-time example, and we do have a detailed running notes for each and every component. Okay, we do have a detailed running notes for each and every component. So it means, assume that you want to install a particular software. In our sessions I will show you how to install that software, and here in the running notes it has a details from where you need to download, how you need to download, and all those things we will be studying in our sessions. Okay, we are going to publish these running notes in a Google Drive folder, and we will be sharing you that. Okay, so this is a high level overview. And the another thing is, so someone asked me about how can we perform a record and a playback feature in Selenium, right? So here there is one component, as I told you that we have one component in Selenium, which is a Selenium IDE, which we are going to start officially from tomorrow. But I just want to show you how to perform this. Let me open my Chrome browser where it is. Okay, so here it is. So I'm just opening my Selenium IDE here. I'm not showing you how to install that and how to perform this. I'm just showing you how can we use this feature for record and a playback feature. Okay, how can we use this component for a record and a playback feature? I just want to show you that. So I'm copying this URL. In detail about this component, we are going to study in a tomorrow's class anyways. See here, I'm try as of now, my IDE is in a recording mode. In a Chrome browser, if you observe, Selenium IDE is in recording mode. A tooltip is coming, right? Selenium IDE is recording. So I'm entering my name, Surendra Jagannatham, and I clicked on a search button. So here some kind of a search results got displayed. See, Surendra Jagannatham search results got displayed here. If you switch back to Selenium IDE, corresponding commands got generated by my IDE. Okay, so this is how we can use a record concept in Selenium IDE. In detail about this record and a playback feature, we are going to study from the tomorrow's class. Okay, starting from tomorrow we are going to study about this Selenium IDE. As I told you that we are going to start our training program with IDE first, and then we will move on to core Java and then WebDriver. Okay, cool. So this is the thing. Babisha, am I clear for you, or do you have any questions for me on this?
No, thank you.
Cool. So this is an overview about this training program, guys, and we are going to start the regular sessions from tomorrow, and the timing is at okay, the timing is at 7:30 a.m. IST, where we started our today's session, which is 9 p.m. EST. So we are going to start the regular sessions from tomorrow at 9 p.m. EST. Okay,
I have one more
cool.
doubt. So, whatever you're doing in the Word document, you gonna forward that, or else it's like just we are recording. That's it.
No, the thing is basically, I have already shown you one document, right? The installation. See here, the WebDriver document. It has everything. Okay, whatever I'm conveying. For suppose if I am explaining about IDE, it has in detail about IDE. In our session, for our understanding purpose, I'm just making a note of this. Usually, I will be attaching this one in an email at the end of the day. I will be typing as a body in an email, and I will be sending this text at the end of the session.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So this is the thing. And guys, it's your turn now. If you have any questions, please go ahead and let us discuss your questions. And guys, another question which people might ask is how many days this training program will be. It's going to be 45 days. Okay, it's going to be 45 days, 1 hour a day, and 5 hours a week. And these 5 hours are Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. EST. The sessions are Monday to Friday at 9 p.m. EST. Okay, this is the session timings where we are going to start and continue with our regular training programs. Okay, cool. So this is the thing, and this is a high level overview about the training program. If you have any questions, please go ahead. If you don't have any questions, do share your Gmail ID in a chat window so that I can forward this session recording to you people. Okay, do share your Gmail ID so that I can forward this recording. Cool.